Well, there was another close call between the U.S. and China over the weekend. On Saturday, a Chinese warship crossed in front of an American destroyer in the Taiwan Strait. Now, the U.S. says it was an unsafe maneuver that forced the destroyer to slow down. CBS News senior foreign correspondent Elizabeth Palmer is following all of this from Tokyo. Elizabeth, good morning.
Good morning. That's right. This close encounter, so we say, on the high seas wasn't only dangerous, but it was caught on video by a journalist for the whole world to see, just as the U.S. and China's top defense officials were in the same conference in Singapore.
China's General Li Shangfu used his first high-profile international appearance to address the weekend's incident with some blunt advice for the U.S. Keep your ships and planes away. He was referring to this, a close call on Saturday when a Chinese warship crossed the course of an American destroyer so close it had to slow down to avoid a collision. Last week, a Chinese fighter jet cut across the flight path of a U.S. reconnaissance plane. General Li didn't address the Chinese decision-making that led to the incidents, but implied the U.S. was ultimately responsible. To avoid similar encounters, he said the U.S. should steer clear of the area around China. Mind your own business. But the U.S. sees routine air and sea patrols as very much its own business, where China's flexing military muscle in the Pacific. America and its allies want to underscore their position that this is international space open to everyone. At a banquet on Friday, General Li did shake hands with the American Secretary of Defense Lloyd Austin. But China had already decided against a formal meeting, something the administration is still pushing hard for in spite of overall chilly relations.
And a cordial handshake over dinner is no substitute for a substantive engagement.
Now, there are going to be more mixed messages in this relationship, but on the constructive side, two U.S. officials are in Beijing today for more meetings, so it's not inconceivable that we will see direct President Xi and Biden talks sometime maybe even later this year, Anne-Marie.
Such a complicated relationship. Did China's General Li mention Taiwan during his remarks?
Yes, the remarks were wide-ranging, and he did stress that China was broadly seeking cooperation on security in the region, but he drew the line on Taiwan. He said it's China's affair, foreign interference will not be tolerated, and then said once again, but very clearly, if anybody dares to what he called split Taiwan from China, that China's military would step in.
And what about National Security Advisor Jake Sullivan? You know, he focused on China a bit as well in his remarks. What did he have to say to the Arms Control Association?
Well, he's asking China to join strategic arms talks after what he called one of the most rapid nuclear buildups in history. China's got 400 nuclear weapons now, and it's expected by 2035 that they will have 1,500. And so he's saying it really needs to join a diplomatic dialogue about arms control. Separate from the hot and cold running temperatures between Beijing and Washington, he said he'd like the world to go back and China to join in a time when countries could cooperate on being responsible about their nuclear weapons, even if they couldn't cooperate on anything else.
Elizabeth Palmer, thank you very much.